All right, we are live again. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we're doing it a little bit different because we're going to share a real story about one of my clients because I know many of you are in the same spot. So a couple months ago, they reached out to me. They were really not ready, not sure. They were just mainly curious. They didn't think buying a home would be possible. So Jess is gonna walk us through as how the whole process went about. But here's what happened, with a step by step plan and definitely the right team, we were able to go from curiosity to being in contract. And the best part is that they're buying with zero money out of their pocket. Yes, zero.
No, not just that, but we'll get into the rest of the magic you made happen.
Right? So, I mean, that's just mind blowing from not even thinking about being able to own to getting to I I'm even out of words because it's that good, right? That we're now, inching our way to the finish line. So, Jess, what are your thoughts on like how the process went with our client?
Yeah, so let's talk about timeline. I got your clients in June 2nd to be exact. That's when I got the application. I just looked. That's when I had the conversation with them and we realized, well, I don't have a whole lot of savings, right? That's been their situation since day one. And I need assistance to cover my entire down payment, maybe even my closing costs, because otherwise we need to count on a seller credit. So the first things first, it was get their credit score to where they need to be to qualify for our FHA zero down, which is one of the most forgivable as far as credit score requirement is concerned. This
Mm-hmm.
one, you just have to have a 600 credit score to qualify for it. It has no income limits. You don't even have to be a first time home buyer to qualify for it. So that was the first thing we planned, right? It was how do we get your credit score from where it's at now, which was I'm looking at my notes right now. It was like 580 to 600. We managed that. I mean, August 7th, based on my notes right here, I keep really good notes. August 7th is when I checked their credit score and realized scores have updated. You now have a 600. So from August 7th to now, we have managed to get them from this roller coaster of emotions because first it was excitement. Oh my God, we did it. We're where we need to be. They came in, they sat down with me, we met, and we went over their pre approval. At that point, they were qualified. I gave them their pre approval letter and they could start shopping. We went over a gazillion different mortgage payment estimates. What if we get a 3% seller credit? What if we get a 4%? What if we get nothing, right? Just so they could know what they were getting themselves into before they even started making any offers. They finally walked out of here with a very good understanding of what to expect. They met with Alphen and they started viewing homes like crazy. There was a moment in between from then up until today where they actually called us and let us know we thought about it better. We want to work on our savings and bring them up a little bit so we can just have that cushion in case of an emergency. We don't think we're 100% ready. Our reaction was very much so, we're going to make this happen at your own time whenever you do feel ready. It's up to you. I'll stay here and I'll stay in touch. And then hopefully I'll hear back from you saying I'm 100% ready to go. Alvin had a very real talk with them. And I think it was that conversation with Alphen that made them realize now is the time to jump on this. We're working with a buyer's market. We don't often have a buyer's market. What that really means is you can manage to actually negotiate closing costs so that the seller covers those on your behalf and you can walk away with no cash out of pocket, which means best case scenario, you don't need to have any savings at all. And they ended up changing their mind again from thinking they weren't ready to making an offer, getting that offer accepted, and now being in contract. But Alvin, I would love for you to brag a little about everything we've managed to do with the seller credit you were able to get this client.
Oh, yeah. So we're not yet in the finish line, but I can definitely briefly talk about where we're sitting. So, where we're sitting at is they're going to get all their closing costs paid for. Also, will, solar, well, with that one, they're going to have like warranty paid, closing costs paid. So, and then they have the down payment assistance that's going to be helping them. So, literally, no money down out of their pocket. So, we were able to manage to get that all covered. Also, here's another kicker, which I thought would be a real deal breaker, which is the rent buyout. So, buying out the lease is, a hefty amount. So we were able to negotiate that in as well. So fingers crossed, we are still working towards the finish line now. So, but that's a great win. Like, who would have thought to have all those hurdles included and still be able to find the home for them that works, that they love, and it's a new home too, a newer home, like a 2022. So I'm super excited that we're in this journey. It's not easy. There's definitely been a lot of ups and downs. It's what, a 4 month period? Almost four or
Just
5 months
4 months.
period from curiosity, getting pre-qualified, pre-approved, and to this whole house hunt to get what they need, and which is a zero down. You know, and
Mhm.
they're not my first client that I've been able to assist with a zero down. So it's possible. It's really possible. Just the first step is knowing who to talk to. You're laying out your options, what you cannot do, and go from there. Right, Jess?
Exactly. And that could be you. I've talked to a gazillion different people who are currently renting an apartment and they have no savings because, let's be honest, inflation is killing us all. It's hard to save. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have 10 grand sitting in the bank to cover their down payment or the closing costs. So this brings me back to something I wanted to bring up, which is interest rates. People are always waiting for rates to come down. And of course, I want rates to be lower too, because that'll mean I can get you into a much more affordable mortgage payment.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of people that are waiting for rates to come down. And I mean, it's been 2 years and rates haven't done much. They're pretty stagnant. We probably have all heard the news that rates have come down a little bit. I'm going to be completely frank with y'all. It's not that big of a difference, at least not yet. But it's still a good thing that is showing that rates are potentially trending lower, and hopefully they stay that way for the long run. You can only hope in this market. But what I'm trying to get at is, if you keep waiting, if you're a sitting duck just waiting for rates to come down, you could miss out on opportunities like the ones we're seeing now. It's been a tough mortgage market this year. Alvin can probably tell us more on that, but I personally have been hearing from many realtors, houses are sitting in the market longer. And if you go on Zillow, you're probably going to see a trend of red, meaning there's a lot of price cuts, a lot of price decreases on many of the homes that are for sale right now.
Oh, yeah. So just the market in Reno alone for single family, because how we do the market update, it's a month prior. So from July to August, market update is it went from 630,000 to 615,000. That's the median sales price in Reno for single family homes. So that just shows like there was a dip and people are just slashing prices. So if you want something on sale, like real on sale houses wise, now's the time. Because if you look on Zillow, there's always, you'll see a lot of price reductions because homes are sitting a bit longer in the market. And as a buyer, I know, there's also news now that mortgage applications has been steadily has risen, right?
Hmm.
So it would be good to start now before more buyers come in the market, and now you have a lot of competition. And now sellers are not decreasing pricing because now homes are moving a lot faster. So, definitely start the journey, if you are even curious, because who knows, you might be the one that could save a lot of money, get a good deal on a home. And if anything, you can always just refinance later.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to the basics. We all learned supply and demand in school. I can't tell you if it was in middle school or high school, but I remember learning something along those lines when I was young. So it's the same issue here. We don't have enough supply, enough homes. We've had this issue for many years now. It is a shortage of homes, and
Mhm.
the demand is high. The problem is the demand, being the buyer, a lot of the demand is sitting right now because they're waiting for the perfect market. Let's be honest, that's never going to happen. You're never going to have low interest rates, low mortgage, low homes, right, for sale.
Mhm.
It's one thing's always going to give. Now, if you do and follow as the sheep typically do, and you wait to jump once everybody's jumping in and doing it at the same time, now, again, I said there's not enough demand. I meant supply, right? Enough homes.
Mhm.
Now there is a huge demand, not enough supply. Now you're all competing for the same home, which means if that home is selling for 320, because there's 3 4 other people trying to get their hands on that home, they're going to offer more. So now you're going to be either obligated to bow out and hope
Mhm.
for the best with another home, or try and outbid that person and offer more. And this is exactly what happened when rates were extremely low back in 2021, 2022.
Mhm.
We were seeing homes, the offers on homes coming in 20, 30, 50, higher even, above asking price. Some of these homes weren't even worth the amount that people were buying them for, which means they were immediately flipped on the equity on that home because they were just stuck in this competition mindset. And that's exactly what will happen if you all wait to jump when rates come down. Now, there's the saying, which is you marry the home, you date the rate. That's exactly what you could do. If you feel that you can live with the mortgage payment that you'd end up with right now in this market, I will always say go for it if you can. Because later on, when rates do come down, instead of being the person who's stressed out trying to outbid that other person, you could just be the person who already has a home and you're just in the process of refinancing into a lower interest rate.
Absolutely. So also, the key is definitely having a team, that could guide you through the process. And this is also why asking questions matter. One call can definitely open doors you didn't even think that was possible. So that's how I feel like our current experiences with our client is. And we were able to navigate and push forward even through the roller coaster of emotions, right? Because
Mhm.
it's not easy. It's not easy to make this huge decision, right? So, if you are even curious, like my client was, we're definitely making it a lot easier because Saturday, September 27th, from 11 to 12:30, we're hosting an in-person home buying seminar, which is called Plan Smart Before You Purchase. We'll definitely cover everything, um, from programs to market insights, and there'll be snacks, food, raffles. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be in person. So I'd love you guys to come meet us, ask the questions you've been dying to ask, and also bring a friend. This type of info people, wish they knew before jumping into buying. Right, Jess?
Exactly. So if you've ever had a question about mortgages at all, then you will definitely benefit from meeting us in person and having us answer that question on the spot. And hopefully, maybe even bring clarity to you and your family on what is actually doable. I mean, I come from a family whose parents have always said, right now is not a good time to buy a house. We don't have the right savings. I don't think I have the right credit score. And anytime we dig deeper, we realize we are the only ones keeping ourselves from reaching our own goals because we're not asking the right questions. We're not going to the right people.
Absolutely. So, a lot of the hesitation I've been hearing, is the down payment, the rates, not being able to find the right home. Would it help if we showed you this in person, get some clarity? If so, come by. We have the registration link. I'll go ahead and put it on the just message us so I can go ahead and send it to you because it has something to do with the algorithm. If you go to a different site, it changes. So, if anything, just comment below. That way, I can go ahead and message you the link for registration. It's completely free. And also, tag or share this with someone that's paying at least 2,500 or more in rent now, and this could definitely change their life. You know, if you've been wanting for a sign, this is it. So if you know anyone, just give them a tag or share this video to them. Other than that, um, you can always reach me at 775-544-5011 as well. Jess, do you have any last words?
Well, I really hope that anyone who is listening to us right now is signing up for that first time home buyer seminar that we are having on September 27th. Um, there's no losing. You will probably walk out of there with so much clarity, so many questions answered. It's definitely worth your while, and it's just an hour and a half of your time. And I promise you, we will make it as entertaining as possible. So that way it doesn't feel like a waste.
Yay. Well, I'm super excited. Jess, other than that, it's so great always working with you. But if you have any questions, concerns, just comment or message us.
Yes,
Bye,
you can reach
guys.
me at seven seven
Okay.
five 229 4175. You can shoot me a text message at that number or just call me if you have any questions ahead of time.